he's tongue in cheek making fun of it when he by saying it.
I did see this, yeah.
By saying how straightforward it is and what they did. Do you want to read this? You want me to read it?
Yeah, he's like you said, he's mocking the complexity of whatever this shit is that people were doing on AAVE.
Yes.
So he says, we'll read as much as we can. He says, look, guys, it's actually really straightforward. A bunch of people stake their ETH on Ethereum blockchain to earn yield, except they didn't want their capital to be locked up. So they actually staked with a liquid staking protocol called Lido, who provided them a liquid staking receipt token called STETH, except they decided to juice their yield further by depositing their STETH receipt tokens into a restaking protocol called Eigenlayer, except they didn't want to lock up their capital. So they actually restaked with a liquid restaking protocol called Kelp DAO, who provided them with a liquid restaking receipt token called RSETH, except they decided to juice the yield further by depositing their RSETH tokens into a lending protocol called AAVE so that they could open a leveraged looping position that borrows ETH against the RSETH collateral and restakes the ETH into RSETH, which is then deposited as collateral, except it turns out RSETH used a cross-chain bridge called Layer 0 that was hacked by the North Koreans, causing RSETH to become under-collateralized, and now these looping positions are stuck and unprofitable, and everyone is pointing fingers at each other. And also, DeFi is a very serious industry. So I get it. I mean, yeah.
So here's a little graph of it, of kind of what they did. I just thought this was the best way to explain to people that didn't know what happened on the complexity of the world of shit they got themselves into, and how many steps they had to take to basically have their money kind of locked now and valueless.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the forever pain point, I think, of crypto and DeFi, right? Of people chasing yield. That always is where it goes wrong. Whether it was the centralized platforms the last time around, people just don't want to hold tokens. And I think it's the volatility, obviously, of crypto, because it's painful. It hurts you where it counts. And you want to earn something in the meantime. And perpetually, people make massive mistakes. So Richard Hart, with a couple of posts on this, he said, let me explain how stupid you guys are in a new way. Getting hacked sucks, and it's all technical and stuff, and there's a really dumber way to get hacked. Doesn't take any smarts at all. All you have to do is assume some trash has value and then lend against that trash. The AAVE system did that. So instead of needing to get hacked to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, they just had to support a lending market for the trash. So now everyone that had ETH wrapped Ethereum on AAVE is screwed because the hackers emptied out hundreds of millions of dollars of real wealth in exchange for their trash, hack tokens that AAVE supported for lending. TLDR, you don't have to get hacked by smart folks to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. You just need to support lending on trash. Idiots all. Yeah. So what do you make of that? I mean, again, it's just getting too cute, I think, trying to earn yield in DeFi is what this comes down to. Right.
Yeah, and then he says this,
Okay, so he says DeFi didn't get hacked. Admin key Phi got hacked. Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX, and ProveX coins have no admin keys. Stop calling admin key crap and DAO controlled by a few dudes. Admin keys, but with extra steps. DeFi, it's not DeFi. Oh, and Arbitrum seized, this was the other story. Arbitrum seized $70 million of the hacker coins, and another chain introduced privacy, but with a few with a view key. They say they'll hand to the government if asked right. Some small portion of you figured out the solution. Follow me, learn from me, be saved. I can't save you from others choosing to click red instead of green, but I can teach you what's real and how to do things better, much, much better. So, any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, and he says it right there. I can't help the price. I can show you a better way to do things that don't have admin keys, that have your admin keys, that that have consensus locked code that can't be touched. Again, that points back to Hex. Yes, Pulse X. We all know there are some keys in there for the farms. Okay, people keep going back to this point. Whatever, you have to be able to change, and it's all with the incentive token. You have to be able to change how much yield is earned and different pools and things like that. The actual buy and burn does not have admin keys. It is a locked contract that will just buy and burn, buy and burn. You know, there are, so Pulse Chain, you know, you've got a lot of validators out there. You know, when you look at these things like Arbitrum, and they just said, okay, we're going to stop, because I believe Arbitrum is a layer 2, right? If I'm not mistaken. So not only is there a risk to get to the layer 2, because you've got to hope that somebody accepts your coins to get in there, but then you've got the risk of them just freezing your money whenever they want. So you're taking double the risk on a lot of these things, when this is what I was trying to say earlier. Eventually people are going to realize that he did this the right way. You know, we start with the whole links and the extra click of the button, the IPFS links. That's the start of it, right? And so it's protected there. And then you go even deeper and into the protocols themselves that don't have the admin keys. And people eventually are going to figure this out and understand that there are better ways to do it. And the ones that aren't doing it better, you know, things like this are going to continue to happen. So again, I think it just takes time. People, and you know, we were talking about this earlier. Yes, we are early. We're very early to the party. Hopefully, the use case becomes glaringly obvious that what it is safe. You know, again, we can't control the red sell button that people click, but you know, if you're going to do it, you might as well be safe about it and eliminate all of those other risks that many other things have.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, unfortunately, I think it's something that people are going to chase until the end of time. You know, even in markets where, like the stock market, where there's just a consistent grind upwards. I mean, people love the idea of yield in some way. So in crypto, I do get it. I mean, the volatility is so painful that, like, you know, people like with Hex, for instance, whenever now that's different. That's just a DeFi smart contract. But whenever, you know, you're earning that Hex yield, now, of course, prices of things have gone down so far that it really hurts. But all that time, it's like, you know, I'm earning all this crazy yield also. So it can be kind of comforting a little bit, even when prices go down. Sometimes they go down so far, though, that it doesn't quite matter that much anymore. Right. But I get it. People are going to continue to chase this stuff, unfortunately. And it's just going to lead to better products. I just think we're going to have better products come out. Contrary to the stuff that like Bob Lucas and Bitcoin Maxis are saying, I don't think crypto and further, decentralization and digitization of money, I don't think is going to stop necessarily. No. So, I think better products are just going to continue to be made, and there will be people interacting with a blockchain seamlessly without even knowing it, really, at some point, probably. So,
and on top of that, I don't see people just gaining a whole bunch of trust in the government with the dollar. You know what I mean? We're going in that direction already, where the dollar has just devalued so much, and every day more and more people distrust what the government is doing. Whether it be stolen funds or wherever they're misallocating, you know, people want another solution where they're in control of it. And, you know, it hasn't happened yet in mass amounts of people, but it's starting, and that will continue to grow over time. It's just going to continue to grow.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So interesting stuff over this past week to see, with not much happening in crypto, but I think that's pretty much going to do it for us tonight. A lot of interesting stuff to think about. Hopefully we get some more action and some continued positive price action with BTC and ETH here over the coming weeks, but we will see. It's only April. We're still, we just wrapped up the first quarter really last month of 2026, and we'll continue to see where all of this goes. With the summer ahead of us should be a very interesting one regardless. So thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Hex Wizard, yeah, man, thank you so much for the super chat earlier. We really do appreciate all you guys. Again, I mean, it's been a very difficult last few years for everybody, and the activity that's been in this chat tonight is encouraging because it's like, man, it's pretty crazy that there's this many psychos out here still here believing in this stuff and not leaving, as difficult as it all has been. So very inspiring, I think, for sure. So yeah, Hex Wizard, E-Grab, DJ Moonboy, of course, Super Snake, Marco, Valiant Low Key, Philly, of course. We have Bitfinesse, a lot of stuff tonight. Hexagon Coin, Checks My Pulse. I know I'm missing other people. Duke of Booze chimed in. Don Swan, Tam was here earlier. Yeah, we really appreciate all of you guys. We do this pretty much every week at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. Pizza, same to you as well. I love mushroom and pepperoni. Probably my favorite pizza topping there. So, yeah, for Crypto Ewok, this has been Bunk Bed Boy Crypto, and we'll catch you guys here next week right here on the Creative Crypto. We'll see you guys.
See y'all.